Yes, it was.
Header down to Pearce, who's got to push forward on that side if this plan's going to work. Barnes again. Oh, what a run. And a chance here for Platt to get the ball in. Lineker couldn't get there, and here's Dixon. Plenty of the ball for Gascoigne. He'll relish that. And Lineker will relish passes of that nature too. Bulls in the middle. Oh, good effort by Lineker. Lineker and Bull both running well, and it's a good piece of improvisation by the goalkeeper, Petri. Gascoigne, and now Platt. It's gone a bit wide. Gascoigne tries, Lineker does! And the first goal for England under Graham Taylor is scored by the new captain in the last minute of the first half. It's Barnes back to Dorigo. Now Ball's on the move. Against Distal. And he showed up well. Oh, Lineker! It happened so quickly. You hardly saw Lineker going in. It's not a goal. Disappointment on the bench. The referee has spotted an infringement and it won't count.
By Graham, but coached by Joe Royle, got off to a rather uncertain start. Not a great threat from this cross, but the referee awards a Hungarian penalty, mystifying at the time, but the replay indicates handball by the Oldham defender Paul Warhurst. Peter Jarfash with the penalty, Hungary 1 up. And Laurie McMenemy, who has overall control of the under-21s, with much to ponder. In the second half, the introduction of Manchester United's Mark Robins provided the transformation, and his diving header there from Gary Charles's cross made it 1-1. Well, then for England, a couple of late goals added a bit of gloss to the scoreline that perhaps the overall performance didn't deserve. Great determination coming up here from Ian Olney on the byline. His Aston Villa colleague Mark Blake puts England ahead. And then in the last minute, a repeat performance from Mark Robins, and this time the header comes from Tom Johnson of Notts County. England under-21s 3, Hungary 1.
When the Soviet Union opened their qualifying campaign against Norway in Moscow in September 1990, no one could have dreamed of the political confusion which lay ahead. As Mikhailichenko and his teammates chased goals and points, so their country was about to disintegrate. It took just 22 minutes of constant pressure to record the first goal in Group 3. After Oleg Protasev shot against the posts, Andrei Konchelskis was in the right place at the right time to shoot beyond goalkeeper Torsvet. This was Byshevet's first game in charge. He'd succeeded Valery Labanovsky after the Soviets' failure at the 1990 World Cup. Byshevet's dropped many of the exiled former Kiev players who'd formed the team's backbone for so long. But it was one of the survivors, centre-back Oleg Kuznetsov, who headed home Dobrovolsky's cross for goal number 2. Kuznetsov too would soon be joining the band of exiles by transferring to Glasgow Rangers of Scotland.
Well, that's a fine ball to Lakatu, Sean. Didn't he take it beautifully? Laid it back to Petrescu, and it's in. Kawataru. Next day, McLeod. McKimmy's available. Now, is it a good cross this time? Into the box, still McKimmy. Tees it up for McAllister. McCoist. Robertson. Yes! John Robertson, the 25-year-old striker from Hearts, scores for Scotland on his international debut. McAllister. Oh, well struck and a fine save. Hadji. Oh, he let it run and Boyd intercepted. Pursued by Petrescu. Can he get to his feet quickly? He can, and lays it back to Robertson. There's 3 or 4 to look for in the box. McStay! Teed up for McLeod. Oh, it's in! McCoist! Scotland ahead 2-1.
Result for the Scots, and one other result from their Group 2. Switzerland 2, Bulgaria 0, and Switzerland are Scotland's next opponents at Hampden Park on October the 17th. And the Northern Ireland line-up will go on familiar names like Norman Whiteside and David McCreary. Paul Key of Oxford United, he wins his second cap in goal due to the injury to Tommy Wright. And Yugoslavia beaten on penalties by Argentina in Italy, and passing a late fitness test for them, Dragan Stojkovic, many people's selection as one of the outstanding players of the World Cup finals. Northern Ireland playing left to right. We're in the first.
Back into the pass of Savicevic, and blocked, but Panchev puts in the rebound. Spasic, and now Stojkovic. A left foot pass that finds the man out there. And Prosinecki. Cool, deliberate, and the goal he deserved.
Austria made little secret of the fact that they expected to score 4 or 5 goals against the Faroe Islands, but one by one the chances were missed. Polster, the culprit here, good save, and a natty lining goalkeeping caps from Knudsen. Then after 63 minutes, the moment that shook the entire football world, Torkild Nielsen scoring like a veteran, and an instant national hero. The Faroes then survived the last 27 minutes before the real celebrations began. Now, Ray, how do you explain a result like that?
Well, that's an incredible result, Bob, that. And no one would have forecast it. It wasn't even played there. It played in Sweden, wasn't it?
After surviving Bulgarian pressure in the first 15 minutes, Switzerland went ahead against the run of play. Mark Hottiger's bobbler evading an unsighted Valov in goal. Into the second half now, and Switzerland's second goal, which ensured the 2 points. Bickel put in by Chapiasat, beating Valov at his near post. Switzerland 2, Bulgaria 0. Now, had Spain played as well in the World Cup as they did in this friendly against Brazil, they'd have actually made the final. Carlos's diving header from Michel's cross gave them a 9th-minute lead. If you thought that was a good goal, there's even more skill coming up in number 2. First, look out for the little pass into the box. Then it's the skill and turn, followed by the dummy, the setup by Michel, and Fernando says thanks very much. 2-0 to Spain, and 3 in the last minute. Michel, having set up 2, decides to get his own name on the score sheet and leave new Brazilian manager Falcao with plenty to ponder. Finally, another friendly in Brussels, Belgium against East Germany, and early on the home side dominated. Enzo Schifo terribly unlucky with that 30-yarder. But in the second half, 2 breakaway goals from East Germany. Here comes the first. Predom failing to prevent the ball reaching Sammer at the far post. And Sammer, who plays for Stuttgart now, got a second in the last minute of the game. Predom rashly coming off his line this time, and East Germany winning 2-0 in their last away game before unification.
Took a hammering before Wembley against the World Cup's weakest nation, the United States. Bruce Murray giving the Americans the lead after only 15 minutes. 9 minutes later, Poland, feeling just about their strongest team, were rocked again. A strong run through the middle of Poland's defence by Peter Vermes, giving the States a 2-0 lead. Incredibly, the Americans scored a third before half-time. Goalkeeper Bako's mistake, and Vermes scored again. Poland got their act together more in the second half, and a fine cross by Zioba brought a good header from Gazeki. The United States lost some confidence now and gave the ball away carelessly to allow Poland to score a second. Zioba, who England will have to watch, beating Watford goalkeeper Tony Meola. Despite the apparent clearance, the referee gave the goal. In Group 4 of the European Championships, Denmark in red scored after only 8 minutes against the Faroe Isles, who'd beaten Austria in their previous game. Michael Laudrup, the scorer. It looked like another upset in store when, incredibly, the Faroes equalised when Alan McCrory bundled the ball home. and it seemed as though half the population of the islands joined in the celebrations, including that chap with the funny hat again. No fairy tale ending this time, though, and it was the Luton striker Lars Elstrup who restored Denmark's lead before half-time. Denmark's third early in the second half was the goal of the game, a magnificent run by Michael Laudrup, and relief on the Danish bench at a 3-1 lead. They made it 4-1 in the last minute, thanks to persistent play by the former Manchester United fullback John Severbeck. Flemming Poulsen, the scorer.
Right! Lineker, off the line, was it in? Was it in or not? Was it a handball? Penalty. Oh, well taken. Absolutely no question about it. He knew he was going to score. Here's Dixon. Beards has made a run now. It's a good one too. And he's got Platt making a terrific run in the second. He went for the near post. Oh, what a goal by Peter Beards.
It was looking encouraging for Scotland this morning. 2 wins in 2 matches, but they lived dangerously before beating Switzerland 2-1 at Hampden Park last night. This incident led to Scotland's opening goal in the 34th minute. Handball harshly given by the referee, but John Robertson comfortably scoring from the spot. Alec Hoist had already missed an earlier penalty. Gary McAllister made it 2-0 just after half-time, but Switzerland prompted a rousing finish when Nutt pulled a goal back with another penalty. Switzerland, who had Eagly sent off, almost snatched a draw. Better finishing, and they would have done so. In Belfast, Northern Ireland, who had already lost their opening Group 4 match to Yugoslavia, got off to a bad start against Denmark. Brian Laudrup felled by Colin O'Neill. And Jan Bartram scoring the penalty. That after 11 minutes. But Colin Clark kept Irish hopes of qualification alive, beating the offside trap to equalise in the 66th minute.
Match was played at the Arms Park in Cardiff, and I think that maybe was the reason, Jim, it gave the boys a bit of a psychological lift, although they did go 1 down to their Savills goal here, and maybe at that stage they thought, oh no, not again, because as you say,
well, Belgium certainly looked a very good side in the World Cup here, and I think England were basically very lucky to beat them. But a great ball here by Dean Saunders through to Ian Rush, tremendous run by him, and what a great goal.
Well, the thing about the Welsh, Jim, we've always wondered why they haven't won matches, because they've got world-class players, you know, Rich Saunders and Hughes, and they've a great goalkeeper.
Just what Terry Yoris said, he said he's not worried, and there's another good goal by Dean Saunders there. He's not worried about how Saunders, Rush and Hughes plays, it's the others. They've got to play well, and Saunders again involved in the action, and an excellent goal this by Mark Hughes. And maybe playing at Cardiff Arms Park and Dallin out great.
Well, I think the Irish were also inspired, Jim, in their match against Turkey.
Irwin playing it in early, finding Aldridge. Houghton coming up for this one. Well, he might try one from there. Houghton, it cannoned off there, and it's in there by Aldridge. Aldridge finished it off. The Republic of Ireland go into the lead. Curled deep towards McCarthy with the header. And O'Leary, his first goal for the Republic of Ireland. And it puts them 2 ahead. O'Leary really launched himself at that one. Sheridan taking it from... Oh, here he is again. O'Leary looking for another one. Aldridge. It's another one for the Republic of Ireland. John Aldridge, his second of the game. Here's Owen. Knocking a long cross in towards Aldridge. Back for Quinn. Another one. 4-0. Niall Quinn. Townsend. Aldridge looking for the hat-trick. A penalty given. It was a handball. A chance to make it 5 now. It's 5-0 and a hat-trick for Aldridge.
Welcome to the European edition of Surprise, Surprise. None greater than Bulgaria's 3-0 win in Romania. The favourites to win Scotland's group nudged towards their second defeat by Krasimir Balakov's expertly taken opener. The Romanians were without their first-choice keeper Silvio Lung through injury. I think his deputy Bogdan Stelea stayed at home with him to watch number 2. It came from half-time substitute Nikolai Todorov. Romania have lost star players to the West and lost a bit of heart as a result. Their standing keeper lost his bearings to allow Todorov to make it 3-0. Bulgaria's best win in Bucharest for 65 years. Italy, playing their first competitive qualifying game for 2 years, were unusually caught out by Laszlo Distel's header in the first half of their game in Hungary. A goal against Italy, always something to celebrate. But quick thinking and a quick free kick by Roberto Baggio set up a second-half equaliser. De Napoli cut down in his prime at the cost of a penalty kick. No doubt about the decision. A bit of doubt as to where the responsibility lay. The defender probably held him off, but the goalkeeper made sure just in case. To Baggio fell the responsibility of capitalising. Spot on. Hungary won. Italy won. Defeat for champions Holland in Portugal. New Dutch manager Rinus Michels undone by a second-half header from Rui Aguas. Ronald Koeman dropped. Frank Rijkaard suspended. More changes in the offing, maybe. A better night for the French against Czechoslovakia and for Jean-Pierre Papin, who does so much of their damage. First to the ball, his first goal on the hour mark. His second, 8 minutes from time, proved decisive. A fatal error. Queen's Park Rangers' new goalkeeper Jan Stejskal helpless. English interest in this match also provided by referee George Courtney. He was checking his watch when Thomas Skurabi pulled one back. Too little, too late. France 2, Czechoslovakia 1.
It's been a good start by Wales, but there's the danger man, Schifo, finding De Wolf, who loves to get into good attacking positions and continues his run. And De Wolf going into the penalty area and takes a tumble. They look to the referee, De Wolf angry, but it's turned down. Did he fall or was he pushed? An anxious moment for Barry Horn. Still Belgium coming, and again it's Schifo looking to get that pass through to Versavel. Here's Versavel. What a fine strike. And Bruno Versavel gives Belgium the lead on 24 minutes. Nothing Neville Southall could do about that. It's a quality strike from Versavel. The ball from Schifo. Versavel taking it on, and it dipped and it swerved. Good enough to beat Southall. An excellent goal. 1-0 Belgium. Here's Gerrits, turned back straight into the path of Nicholas. Dean Saunders, Rush making a good forward run. Here's Ian Rush. Oh, a great equaliser from the Liverpool man. And Ian Rush gets his first international goal for 2 years. Terry Yorath looks calm, but Ian Rush, with his 17th goal for Wales, has broken his barren spell, and that is typical Rush. There was no one to stop that. The perfect reply. Quality ball again from Saunders. Rush timing the run and clipping it in past Prudhomme. Bodin has made some good runs down this left touch line. Plays the ball in for Rush again. He's onside. Chances here for Rush. Saunders couldn't get there and it flew across the face of the goal. And Ian Rush disappointed then not to have his second strike of the half on the mark. Bodin again with the ball in, as he's done so frequently. Rush beating the offside trap, but not Prudhomme. To be picked up by Horn. And the Welsh have really done some good attacking, and here's Saunders, and he's got Rush to aim at in the middle, and Rush might have done better. He'll be disappointed not to have made a good contact with that one. Lovely ball in again from Saunders. Still no emotion from Terry Yorath. The cross was perfect, the finish wasn't. So the danger at this free kick must come from Schifo. Strikes it well, and a flying stop from Southall. Interesting as to whether that one was actually going in or not, but the ball's still in play, and it'll be looped back in here by Emmers. And it goes out now, but there was a dangerous moment, certainly for the Welsh there. Nobody strikes the ball more sweetly than Schifo. Cracking effort and a flying stop. But this will tell us whether it was going in or not. I would say it was. So the corner is for Wales. And Eric Young will go up there, and he'll try and unsettle him. Young, in fact, going for it. Out, but not very far, and it's come back in from Horn, and Rush. Good stop by Prudhomme. Well, the goalkeeper wears contact lenses. He was at close quarters to see Rush. Swung in here, Eric Young getting up well. Looped up in the air, and a good reflex save from Prudhomme. Saunders, what an active game he's had. Flipped over again to Bodin. Got the chance to cross it in. Takes on Garrett. Good cross as well. Out, but not very far. Horn. Here's Saunders once more. It's 2-1. And Wales have got the lead back with 8 minutes to go. Wales 2, Belgium 1. And Dean Saunders has got the second Welsh goal, and they've taken the lead for the first time in the game. And Saunders, an excellent striker's goal as he sweeps it in. Saunders and Hughes going on and following through well. Mark Hughes, he goes on, and it's 3-1. And it's turning into a memorable night for the Welsh and Terry Yorath, who scents his first competitive win as manager of Wales. Prudhomme disgusted with life, he got a hand to that. But Hughes had a lot to do as he took it on there from Dean Saunders. But didn't he do it well? An excellent finish from the Manchester United man. And Mark Hughes rounds off a tremendous night for the Welsh. It's Wales 3, Belgium 1.
Yeah, marvellous result that. And looking at the group table, of course, Luxembourg and West Germany haven't played yet. So Wales and Belgium up at the top there. West Germany actually favourites the whole competition. Waiting.
The wonder is that Romania kept a clean sheet for all of 28 minutes, and then Balakov was given the freedom of the city to embarrass Stetia in goal for Bulgaria's first. The defence about as effective as the old Securitate again, Todorov making it 2-0. And then poor old Stetia, nutmegged for the first, found it impossible keeping his knees together to prevent the third. He won't have a return leg to stand on. Yes, Romania 0, Bulgaria 3 then, and 35,000 spectators in Bucharest to agonise over that. Scotland, just to remind you, beat Switzerland 2-1. The Swiss had already beaten Bulgaria, so Romania probably out of it. But Scotland's home form keeping them on top. Can they do it in Bulgaria on November the 14th? That is the question. Well, Northern Ireland can't quite match the adventures of their southern neighbours. Colin Clark's equaliser rescuing a point at home to Denmark, so an awful lot for them to do. Denmark, not so long ago, the most entertaining side in Europe, still on top of Group 4. A nasty jolt for Holland tonight, thoroughly out of sorts in the World Cup and beaten 1-0 in Portugal in their first European qualifier. Rui Aguas with the winner. Portugal on top of Group 6 at the moment. Holland in turmoil. The maestro was on hot bricks for an hour until Deschamps scorched past 3 defenders to set up Jean-Pierre Papin for the first. Novlicek, the World Cup striker, thought he'd equalised for the Czechs, but George Courtney disallowed this for a foul on the fullback. And then France went 2 up when Veyrua's burst of speed enabled Papin to score at his leisure. QPR's new goalkeeper, Stejskal, given no chance. Near the end, Skuravi whipped a goal back for Czechoslovakia. He scored 5, remember, in the World Cup before staying on in Italy with Genoa. So 2-1 to France, who failed to qualify for the last European Championships and the World Cup, but are expecting Platini to guide them out of the darkness. Could be a long tunnel, though. France with maximum points so far. A big date for them in February when Spain visit the Parc des Princes.
It's Italy's first game, Hungary's second, having drawn 0-0 in Norway last week. Now, the Italians left out Maldini at left-back, brought in Marocchi, who played in midfield, with De Agostini moving to left-back. Hungary's best-known player, Detari, unfortunately missing with injury. You remember they lost to England last month. And our commentator, the ubiquitous John Helm.
Back in field from Marocchi. Turned on by Giannini. Now De Agostini, who makes spirited runs down the left touchline. Schillaci, that was a lovely turn, and Schillaci goes on, and Schillaci might get the first one here for Italy. Good stop by Petri, who'd come off his line. But Toto Schillaci showing the form there that made him such a darling with the Italian crowds during the World Cup finals. So Schillaci going forward and taking on the opposition, working the ball onto his right foot, and it was a good job that Petri for the Hungarians spotted the danger as he came out literally to whip the ball away from Schillaci's toe end. So just under quarter of an hour gone. Still no goals here in the Nep Stadium between Hungary and Italy. And the best chance really fell to Schillaci, and he was only unable to take it because of the outstanding goalkeeping of Petri, who showed very good awareness. Hungary again coming down the right with Monos, who bides his time and then takes on D'Agostini. Well, the crowd have warmed to Monos. He's only 22, made his debut in March against the United States and has since kept his place at right back. Again Bogner, this time right-footed, and a clear header, and Hungary have the lead. And what a great moment for their captain, Distel. 16 minutes gone, and Laszlo Distel profits from the corner taken on the right here by Bogner. He timed his run to perfection, a clear header, and nothing Zenga could do about that. And the ball thuds into the Italian net. So from behind the goal you see how he timed his run so well, Distel, and it's 1-0 Hungary. And certainly Kalman Mazzoli, the Hungarian coach, will be ecstatic with the way things have gone so far. And Baresi has slipped, and he could have cost his side here. Can they make it 2-0? Hungary, surely maybe the chance hasn't gone after all. It's saved by Zenga's legs. A rare error by Franco Baresi there, almost letting in Bogner. And a heart-stopping moment for the Italians. And it's Baresi who clatters the ball out of play. No doubt furious with himself, but that really could have been a calamitous mistake by Baresi. He apologises there to his teammates. Caught in possession, which is criminal really. Bogner taking it on was very unselfish in rolling the pass. And Zenga having to save with his feet. And the Italians come through unscathed from a very dodgy moment. Good turn by Baggio. Oh, and lovely. Beautiful skills by Baggio. Can he produce one of his magical moments? Well, he's got the crossover all right. But never much danger of the header finding the mark from Marocci. But certainly Baggio just reminding us of his supreme qualities. He's a gifted player. And he really teed it up for Marocci there, who couldn't direct the header on the mark. But again, the Italian passing found wanting, which gives the opportunity to Hungary to come again with Shalmar. And some good movement off the ball once more. Well, it's a bit of an ambitious try by Lorinx, but no harm in having a crack from anywhere. Emil Lorinx, the Molenbeek player from Belgium, winning his third cap only, but showing the confidence here to try his luck. Now Donadon. Baggio catching the ball, rugby style there. And here's a chance for an equaliser. No, is that a penalty? The referee dances towards the penalty spot. It certainly is. And Italy have a chance to get back into the game. The theatricals go on. But there was no question about it. It was a real old push in the back, this one, Onde Napoli by Garaba. And Italy have been given an opportunity to get back into the game here. This to make it 1-1, and it is. Roberto Baggio has equalised for Italy from the penalty spot. But that will come as some relief to Italy, who've not really shown signs of getting back. Once more they come with Cosma. Good cross as well, and it's eluded everybody inside that penalty area. A cross from the Dunfermline man. Comes now to the substitute, who goes on and tries to get a toe poke in there, and he is barged over. Fodor barged over, but the referee this time says that's not worth a penalty. Well, we had one at one end. And the Italians come once more. There's a good flow about it this time, and Schillaci offside. Strong running once more from Monos. He really has revelled in it tonight. Zenga off the line. But Monos has been as enterprising as anybody for Hungary. Down on this touchline, Bogner. He's got one man outside him. This looks more promising for Hungary. Oh, was that a penalty? The Hungarians thought so. The referee Carlson didn't. And I think they thought that he'd made a bit of a meal of that. Bogner's ball through. It was a beautifully played pass. And yes, I think he went over rather theatrically without contact being made. Hoisted by Lawrence, who's followed through to make sure he won the ball back. And wins it again. He's been a persistent character in this second half. Now he's onside. Well, can Hungary snatch it even now? Into the penalty area. Fedor is going to come back here for the chance. Save from Bogner by Zenga. And again the shot comes in. Now he's bowled over by Ferry. And he looked a little anxious for a moment. I think the referee's back was actually turned on the incident. But the linesman didn't flag either. Italy come away unscathed again. There was certainly more justification about that shout than the previous one. And it's Italy's turn to come forward with Baggio. Too many men around him. And a lively ending to the game. Fedor twice has got inside the Italian penalty area and unsettled them. Now Baresi has to go back. Turns away from Fedor. De Napoli. Baggio back to Donadoni. And returns the compliment. Nice interpassing between the two. Well, Donadoni's dribbling skills unable to take him through there. But here again, that moment when Fedor thought that a penalty should have been awarded to his side. The shot was struck in by Bogner and a fine save by Zenga. It came back to Fedor. Now this is the moment when they thought they'd won a penalty. Ferry's challenged there. The referee had his back to the incident, but it was no penalty.
The next generation of England internationals were on show at Tottenham. The problem was only just over 2,000 turned up to watch. Not much of an atmosphere, but there were chances. Southampton's Rod Wallace managing to steer this one wide. Manchester United's Mark Robins brought a great save from Clack minutes later. Robins' potential highlighted again last night. He nearly caught out the Polish keeper when he got power and nearly the right direction with a stooping header from Ian Olney's cross. But ironically enough, it was an attempted ambitious flick from Robins that led to Poland's goal. The England defenders were on the way to the halfway line as the Poles broke. Arsenal reserve keeper Alan Miller only succeeded in giving a Damchuk a chance he didn't know too much about. Needless to say, the Poles were quite pleased at scoring just 4 minutes from time. But from the restart, Wallace made a great run and delivered the perfect cross from the right. Robins' header was again kept out, and the second chance was deflected wide. Disappointment for England, Poland winning by a goal to nil.
Determined to build on that as they attempt to qualify for the finals for the first time. Scotland against Switzerland. Barry Davis is the commentator.
There are 4 changes in Scotland's team compared with that which beat Romania. McPherson and McCall come back after injury. Steve Nicol returns to replace the flu victim, Maurice Malpas, after the ending of a club-country debate. And Motherwell's captain, Tom Boyd, starts an international after an impressive half-an-hour debut as a substitute a month ago. The Swiss include their 2 goal scorers of the last meeting here back in March 1983. Heinz Hermann, the captain, for whom tonight's appearance is his 105th cap, and Andre Egli, who makes his international comeback after a self-imposed exile which has lasted for 3 years. Like Scotland, they've lost key men, and in their case, they're all defenders. Well, it's the national side's last appearance in Glasgow's year as the European City of Culture. 2 points from this one, and the Scottish team could well be on their way to a European convention in Sweden in a couple of years' time. Scotland in the blue shirts, of course. The Swiss mainly in red. Quite a fanciful outfit. That's Chapuisa. Swiss attacking the goal to the right. Although most of their practice yesterday evening on this ground was spent in organising defence. McPherson. Alec McLeish back again as Scotland's captain. Paul McStay not fit. He was a little lucky, I think, then. Pressure from Boyd. Swiss have actually got 4 up at the moment, spread right across the field. McPherson gets a good strong header. Egley needed to win that. Pifaretti. Scotland wall. And McCall is available if it's taken quickly, but it's not. Nicol. Zutter. Turkey Maz. Well seen by Andy Gorham. Maz running down the middle like a rabbit who was waiting for the bullet. He heard the noise. But in fact, the machine gun was the man who cleared it. Chapuisa has got right through. And there was nobody coming forward. And in the opening 12 minutes, the Swiss have played the better football. Cross wasn't pulled back as far as it might have been. Nicol put it out for the corner. Plenty forwards. Good claim. There are some strong headers of a ball in the Swiss team. So Gorham will have to be as good as that. McCoist trying to get on the end, and the referee agrees with McCoist that there was a bit of Swiss holding going on. McLeod and McCall have the ball between them. Referee will want the ball back 3 or 4 yards further. Covering the right side of Valke's goal. McCall will take. McLeod is just behind. There is number 10. 8 is McAllister. It's going to go to McAllister. Managed to hit the wall. Nicol. McAllister. All a little bit anxious, particularly from McAllister. Corrish trying to lose Egley. It's better from McAllister. Not the best of clearances. Stuart McCall as a man wide, and he couldn't find him. Nicol. Been a major influence, Nicol, in turning the game towards Scotland. Here's McCoist. And Valke came out so quickly, so unnecessarily, and a penalty has been given. Really, that was a poor piece of goalkeeping. Just dived in. McCoist is quick, and the referee had no doubt. And neither did McCoist. Oh! Oh dear, oh dear. Such gifts should not be spurned. So it remains at 0-0 with 25 minutes gone. Well, won by Canup, and Turkey has his free kick just on the edge. Paul clearly feels the referee bought that, and he certainly made quite a lot of it. Bickel, Herman, Suter, any of those three, or maybe Canup. My money would be on Herman. Strikes it well, and 2 fists up in front of his face by Gorham turns the ball away. Really well hit. Andy Gorham looking good. Good climb by Boyd. Hair's up. It's a goal kick. It's Dominic Hare. And Scotland's captain, Alec McLeish. McCoist. McLeod. This is better from Scotland. Nicol. McCoist near post, now far post. Robertson is nearest. McLeish. Ferson. Some good passing going on here from the men in blue. And again. Robertson seemed to be unaware of the challenge likely to come in. Appeal for handball, and he's given another penalty. Another chance for McCoist. Well, that's where it was knocked down, and the referee saw that as intentional. Trying to plead the case. Change in penalty taker. It's going to be Robertson this time. And Uri Stilica very unhappy about that award, which I must say did seem very harsh. Stilica, the manager of Switzerland, former West German international. Robertson does better than McCoist, and Scotland have the lead. Robertson's second goal for his country. Scored against Romania as well. Sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. Actually drove it absolutely dead centre. Could have been kicked out if the goalkeeper had stayed still. But not many do. McCoist. Hit it well. Typical continental save. Goalkeeper coming forward. That's a good touch by McCoist. McAllister. I think he intended to cross. Came pretty close to scoring. Denied by Valka. Good strike. He was involved in the move that produced this corner. It's met with a very good punch clear. Tekilmaz. Murdo McLeod. Too far. And credit to Murdo McLeod, who came back a long way then and just did enough. And the pass by Tekilmaz just too far. McPherson. Hare. McLeod and Beacle. McLeod again. McAllister. Well played by Robertson. McCall. Time for McKimmie. But he didn't take the time to look up. Didn't see the run across the face of the goal by McCoist. McKimmie again. Challenged by Herman. And McAllister! They looked at the linesman kept his flag down. The majority of the players had stopped. But McAllister didn't. And struck it truly off the goalkeeper and into the corner. His first goal for Scotland on the occasion of his 5th cap. They're appealing there for the offside. Look how many players are standing still. But McAllister struck it really well. Well, it could well be the player at the top was playing him on. What is not in any doubt is that Scotland have a 2-0 lead. McLeish, I think, possibly more cross with himself than Gorham. Or did the goalkeeper not call? Would be out of keeping with his performance so far. Suter to take. Yeah, joining those forward. So is Egley, but they haven't found him coming in at the back post. Not so far wide this time. This is Herman. Made the gap. That's well struck. Cleared off the line by McCall. Piparetti over the top after the earlier shot from Zuter. Cleared off the line. Herman's effort by Stuart McCall. Well worked by the skipper. Gorham was beaten and McCall did his job. And Nicol, having to watch the bounce, it actually beat him for a moment. And this is Chassot. And Nicol might begin to feel what Stuart McKimmie's been feeling. Herman. Tekilmaz. And another penalty. 3rd of the match against Alec McLeish. Well, Tekilmaz turned looking for precisely what he got. Lovely little ball played in, though, by Herman. He was looking for a return here. McKimmie got a foot in. And Tekilmaz made absolutely sure that there would be contact between himself and McLeish. Canuck with the penalty. It's 2-1 in spite of a valiant effort by Gorham. And it changes the scene at Hampden. Swiss have brought on a second player to attack on the flanks. They too given the penalty, and Canuck the scorer. John Collins. Free kick against McLeod. And now Scotland will make their substitution. And a yellow card shown to McLeod. First yellow card of a contest which has seen 3 penalties awarded. And Collins will replace McAllister. So Celtic have a man in the fray. This is Chassot. And here's Turkelmas. He got free and didn't make the most of his opportunity. Ended as a very comfortable header for Gorham to take. Beaker and McLeod. McLeod more determined, and then Beaker brought him down. And McLeod might reasonably say, was that not as bad as mine? And the referee might perhaps agree with him. Yes, he's about to do so. There's no attempt to play the ball, and it's a second yellow card. One apiece. Swiss want to make a final substitution. He's replaced Piparelli. Down the middle, won by McLeish. Don't think that's the best way past the Scots. One or two encouraging the referee to blow the final whistle. We're deep into the final minute. There's a bit of stoppage time to be allowed. The referee certainly looks at his watch. Won by McPherson, but only to Chassot. And must be no! Turkelmas misses a gift. And poor Uli Silica has been through all the agonies this evening. Knupp who headed it across. Turkelmas came round the back. Chance of a break for Scotland here. Robertson wasn't well played by Collins. Egley. And a blatant body check by Egley on Dury. And the referee invites Egley to get to his feet as Dury gets attention. And it's only a question of the colour of the card. It's a red one. This has to be the last chance. In fact, the last chance has gone for Switzerland in this contest, but not, I think, in the group overall. But Scotland have a second home victory and go clear in Group 2. Victory by 2-1 in a match full of incident, including 3 penalties.
Well, Scotland head Group 2 then. Surprise defeat tonight in that group for Romania. 3-0 at home to Bulgaria. Their second consecutive defeat, and Romania were favourites to go through in that group. Now Bulgaria are the next opponents for Scotland, and that match in Bulgaria will be a big test of the Scots European Championship potential. Now this is how the teams lined up. For Northern Ireland, 2 changes to the team that lost to Yugoslavia. Motherwell's Colin O'Neill starts a full international for the first time. Colin Clark returns for the injured Kevin Wilson. And for Denmark, Luton striker Lars Elstrup is relegated to the bench. The Laudrup brothers up front expected to provide the threat. We're in the first half, and the commentator is Mark Robson.
Nice skill from Michael Laudrup. This is Danny Wilson, 3 men in front of him. That was Black, Colin O'Neill. Plenty of skill O'Neill has too. Here's Dowie! Oh my word, he hit that well. Well, what a tremendous first-time effort from Ian Dowie. It was a good ball played in initially by Colin O'Neill. And where do you see this for a first-time strike? Wasn't that far away.
Superb, just dipped late at the last moment and almost in the back of the net. Tremendous effort from Ian Dowie.
Taggart, strong header. This is Poulsen. Siva back. There's plenty of space away on the left-hand side, and he's found Heinz, the full-back. Bartram's outside him. This is Bartram, 2 men in the box. Well away by Nigel Worthington. Heinz again. Brian Laudrup is the target. Good ball to him. Poulsen is the only man in the penalty area to aim for if they decide to play it in aerially, but they haven't, and it could be a penalty. And the referee has given the penalty. It was Laudrup in the box, and really I don't think there was too much doubt about it. Brian Laudrup, the player, a man with tremendous skill. He's so quick and he turns so well. And it's Colin O'Neill who brings him down. Jan Bartram against Paul Key, 1-0. "11 minutes gone, and Denmark take the lead here at Windsor Park. Penalty kick from Jan Bartram. Disappointment for Northern Ireland and Colin O'Neill, who gave away the penalty. It was a well-struck penalty kick, and Key might have just got his fingers to it, but no chance really. Clark, Bartram. Well, Jan Bartram, the man who scored the goal, has been very impressive so far for Denmark. Mal Donachie with the throw for Northern Ireland. Looking for Colin Clark. And now Kingsley Black, and that's a good-looking ball towards Rogan. And in fact, he was brought down after he'd played the ball through, and the crowd are baying for a penalty. But I imagine the goalkeeper's momentum took him through, and I think it would have been a very harsh decision to give a penalty there. And we'll just see now how good an opportunity that was. Well, look at that, he had plenty of room, but Schmeichel did well to come out quickly and cut him down. And it certainly would have been a very unfair decision if a penalty had been given. Here's Colin O'Neill. He's got a bit of space in front of him here. He sees it. 2 men away to his left. And that's a good-looking ball towards Rogan. This could go anywhere. Well, my goodness, it was Ian Dowie who was almost on the end of that. And it was a beautiful ball played through by Colin O'Neill. And this is the skill of the man. He has got great vision. And that was a lovely little bit of football. Rogan had taken up the position. And really, that could have landed in the corner of the net.
There's every chance it could have been a penalty kick as well.
Well, was Dowie pushed off the ball, but the penalty hasn't been given. Here's Kingsley Black. 4 men in for Taggart. Well, he just wasn't picked up at all, and Kingsley Black saw him. I was expecting Black to maybe take his man on and go towards the byline, but he saw Taggart in that little area of space there. And here it is. And it was wide open for him, but it was a difficult angle because the ball was coming at him and the goals were behind him. Taggart. Now he needs someone wide here. He hasn't got it, but he's got Colin Clark. A real chance now for Northern Ireland. And it's a goal by Colin Clark. His 8th goal for his country in his 25th international. The Portsmouth striker has put Northern Ireland back in the game, and what a good ball it was by Gerry Taggart. Look at that. Colin Clark, always an excellent finisher, and he's done it again for his country.
If you have a little look at this, you can see Kent Nielsen, the number 3, who tries to play the offside, and he's the one that actually plays Colin onside. And square back 4 with Denmark, and we're back in the game and everything to play for now.
Northern Ireland 1, Denmark 1, 12 minutes gone in the second half. Denmark attack through Heinz. Laudrup. That might just drop nicely for Poulsen. Oh, I think Key got a hand of that. Well, it has been given as a goal kick. So Key did not get a hand to it before it came off the post there. Well, in fact, it was Laudrup's missed kick that set it up. And let's see if Key does get a hand to this. Well, it's hard to say, but the linesman said goal kick. Dowie. Wilson. That's a nice ball for Nigel Worthington. Stephen McBride is in front of him. The ball is for Stephen McBride. What can he do here? His first touch in international football. And it wasn't a bad one. Well, that'll give him confidence. Well, what a lovely cross it was from Stephen McBride. And Schmeichel had to be at his best.
I think the goalkeeper actually stepped over the line there, Mark, but managed to keep the ball out in front of him.
Donaghy, Vilvoort and Bartram, two men forward. This is Elstrup for Helt, and now Poulsen. Fleming Poulsen. Oh, good effort. Well, everybody, I think, was expecting the ball to be curled towards the far post, and he dummied it nicely and tried the near post.
Hard-fought 1-1 draw for Northern Ireland. They gained their first point in Group 4, but they've got some way to go in that group. Performance of the night, though, perhaps from Wales in Group 5. Wales 3, Belgium 1. Goals by Dean Saunders and Mark Hughes in the last 8 minutes gave the Welsh a magnificent start to their campaign. Belgium took the lead in the 24th minute, but Ian Rush's first goal for Wales since June 1988 levelled the match 5 minutes later. That was before Saunders in the 82nd minute, and Hughes, 2 minutes from time, clinched the Welsh victory.
Seoul provides the stage for the second match in the historic goodwill exchange between the two Koreas. The first game, which the North won 2-1, was rapturously received in the North Korean capital, Pyongyang. A highly charged atmosphere in the Olympic Stadium electrifies the South, in red, who come close to scoring early on. Hwang Sun-hong puts the South ahead. They hold on to win 1-0. The aggregate score between these nations seeking reunification.
Austria had no better luck the next time out against Yugoslavia in Belgrade. Bravely they forged forward, looking to make up for lost points. Andy Ogris made the Yugoslavs pay a heavy price for slack marking as he shot Austria into the lead after a quarter of an hour. Yugoslav football has made a lucrative living over the years, selling its best players to Western Europe. Doko Panchev, judging from his finishing talent here, will soon follow down that path. In the meantime, he pulled Yugoslavia back on level terms and snapped Austria's fragile resistance. Manager Osim saluted the goal and sent his men off in search of more. Yugoslavia possessed the skill to probe relentlessly for weaknesses in the opposition's armour. Katanec crossed, but Panchev's effort for once was wide. First Yugoslavia pulled Austria wide, now they capitalised on the space available through the middle. Austria's defence was caught flat, their marking hopelessly makeshift. Srečko Katanec, having created the first goal, headed Yugoslavia's second. A vital strike from the one Slovene in the team. Into the second half now, and the outcome was beyond doubt. The question was whether Yugoslavia possessed the killer instinct to force the goals their domination deserved. Panchev, hardly the tallest of centre forwards, heads goal number 3. That was his third goal in the qualifying tournament. He'd scored one in Yugoslavia's early victory over Northern Ireland. Austria virtually collapsed. Yugoslavia appeared to be able to score at will. Substitute defender Robert Jani had created the third goal. Now he laid on yet another. Panchev rose above the Austrian defence again to complete his hat-trick. Yugoslavia had won 4-1 to pave the way for their most dangerous rivals, Denmark.
And it's a warning for the authorities in Wales. The German fans caused serious trouble before and after the game in Luxembourg. They're due to visit the Principality in June of next year. These scenes are a reminder crowd violence on the continent is still a big problem. On the pitch, the world champions were as clinical as ever to start with. Jürgen Klinsmann putting them ahead on 14 minutes. Half an hour gone now. Uwe Bein's shot hits the post. Rudi Völler retrieves it, and he sets up Bein to increase the lead. Watch now for a superb effort early in the second half from Rudi Völler. 3-0, the Germans in control. Against the odds, though, Luxembourg strike back. First through Jean-Paul Giresse. And then Robbie Langers, he's a professional in France with Nice, making it 3-2. A fright for West Germany in their last ever international, and a reminder for Terry Yorath and his team to guard against complacency when they go to Luxembourg in 11 days' time.
Rarely, if ever, has Andy Roxburgh been denied so many experienced players when he needs them as here in the Vasilevsky National Stadium in Sofia. His enforced choice shows 5 changes from the victory over Switzerland. Malpass, fit again, is the 4th different captain in as many matches. Gillespie and McClare are recalled to the colours, and 6 of the side cannot yet count their caps in double figures. Bulgaria includes 3 players from clubs in Spain, the numbers 8, 9 and 10, the combative and talented Stoichkov, Penev and Sidakov. They lose 2 defenders, Iliev and Ivanov, because of suspension. Scotland are without Murdo McLeod for the same reason, but the surprising victory in Romania has certainly given Bulgarian football a huge fillip. The officials for the match come from Austria, the referee Friedrich Kaupe. In the under-21 match 24 hours ago, the Bulgarians were much the better side, technically far more gifted, and this promises to be a real test for the Scottish seniors. Yankov, Ledinov, winning his first cap at the age of 28. Bit of space on the right side from Dochev. Free kick given. Challenged by Tom Boyd of Motherwell. Just a little nudge first. The Bulgarian made sure that he got the free kick, which produced nothing. Whistle's gone for the offside, which was an unnecessary interruption. Stoichkov. Captain takes the clearance for Scotland. Mladenov, Balakov. Kickoff was McAnally. The referee didn't like the challenge by Yankov. Quite a strong word with him. Malpass. Yankov. Good challenge by McCoist. The free kick again is in Scotland's favour. Stoichkov in the Cyrillic alphabet. He's up for offside. Referee says play on, and Dury came off his knee, and he's turned in, and Scotland have a priceless goal. The boos all around the ground as Ali McCoist takes what applause he can hear, certainly from his colleagues, but boos all around the ground because the linesman's flag stayed down. Goalkeeper's already appealing before the cross comes in. He's in trouble now. Palms it down to Dury, comes off his knee, and McCoist, with the simple tap-in, gives Scotland the lead in the 8th minute of the match. Real chance here for Scotland because Bulgarians are very much at odds with themselves. Didn't reach Jury, rather a poor free kick. McPherson was a bit slow initially and then in trouble. Sidakov, well played by Gorham. Stoichkov came in. And a little bit of altercation between Gorham and Stoichkov. Who started it, I'm not sure. That's the replay will show. Sidakov with the cross, it was well held, the feet just both met, and one foot was high, and the left foot of the goalkeeper just tapped in irritation. Captain reluctantly gets to his feet. 15 minutes gone. Scotland a goal to the good, scored in the 8th minute by McCoist. Which is total to 8. Nobody else in the side has scored more than one. Clare hoping to break his duck. Sidakov, Penev, had a man over this side, they've gone the other way. Good jump by Malpass. Stoichkov, extra man coming in, and he came off the underside of the crossbar. Scotland having the fortune, they had a bit of it against Switzerland, and they're having a little more in this contest. Got a free kick from that rather hasty challenge, but they were hugely unlucky as the ball came back off the underside of the crossbar from Penev. Belikov with the free kick, good header by Sidakov. Suddenly the Bulgarians find themselves and the crowd responds. Good glancing header. Determined to get there first. Again, a judge to have played the man before he reached the ball. Six players up. Wall does his job. Yanchev. Good piece of play. Sidakov penalty, no. Boyd with the challenge. The referee doesn't like it. The players don't like it, and I must say it looked a bit iffy. But the referee had an excellent view and said no. Little flick by Yordanov. And Sidakov. Well, did he fall over his own feet? Or was he helped in the act? Referee said the former. To McClare just inside the 18-yard area. Dury is out here to the right. And McCoist! And just away from McClare's head. Certainly it was intended as a shot by Ali McCoist. But if he'd have pulled it back just a little bit more, it would have been perfectly placed for the head of Brian McClare. Just away from him, and a goalkeeper struggling to reclaim his ground. McPherson. Dury got a knock in the back after himself showing rather too many studs. In the war's been in the thick of things, Gordon Dury. Three behind the wall on the far side. Stoichkov might try to bend the ball the other way. Yordanov does get deflected for a corner. So it's not quite the last test. Belikov to take it eventually. Yankov is up. Away by Boyd, and Scotland keep a clean sheet from the first 45 minutes, which was their first priority, and added to that, they've scored the only goal of the half from Ali McCoist in the 8th minute, and much of their organisation has worked really well indeed. Well, so far so good. Must have been the message in the dressing room, with Andy Roxburgh requiring his side to maintain their concentration fully during the next 45 minutes. If they could do that, they would have 6 points from their first 3 games, 2 at home and 1 away. No substitutions at half-time, and the first offside flag is against Bulgaria in the second half. And the substitute is Todorov. They've been rather playing around with who's wearing 14 and who's wearing 15, but it certainly looked like Nikolai Todorov. Hasn't come on yet. Substitution is to be made, and Kostadin Yanchev is the player to come off. And here's McCoist. Good play by Boyd, but he couldn't get the cross in, but got the deflection for the corner. Came off the foot of the substitute, Todorov. Now takes a defensive position just inside the near edge of the 6-yard area. Canister to take the corner. McCoist almost on the line. McPherson is up as well. To come all the way across to Gordon Dury. Stumbled at it. Not been as effective going forward as he has in providing cover across on the right side of midfield. Dochev. Sidakov is the substitute. Good play. The flag is up though. It's not going to count. The flag has been up for some time. And the goal will not count, and they're surrounding the linesman, Sidakov and Penev. Penev who put it away, but the linesman was standing there with his flag up for some considerable time. Todorov who started the move, but the flag was up for offside, not against the player in possession, but against the player who was to his left when he shot. Yordanov. Good play by Todorov. Swerving ball that Gorham managed to parry. That lifted the crowd a bit. Gorham was well forward. It really curled viciously in front of him. Met well by McAllister. Yordanov. A sweeping ball, he's played several of those. Belikov. Sidakov. Wanted to go that extra pace. It was pulled back well. Nobody really coming in tight enough at the oncoming danger, and to dismiss it with barely a thought. Tom Boyd. Been reasonably effective in a controlled roll down this left side. Now Stoichkov. Sidakov in the middle, Penev on the far side. the referee is going to talk to Stoichkov and books him for trying to get a penalty. And well done, say many people, I would think, to the Austrian referee. And how good to see a referee have the courage to do that, and against a player of the home team. Dury gets it through to McClare. Actually had two players making good runs through his left, but he decided to turn. McClare once more. Dury. And the flag is up for offside. Good save, in fact, by Mihailov, but the flag was up before the ball was struck by Ali McCoy. You heard the whistle. This is a point of debate. Here's Penner! Oh, he's missed it! He was cleanly away then with the clear shooting chance, and he pulled it too much across the face of Andy Gorham. Gordon Dury comes off to be replaced by Pat Nevin. McCoy. Nevin has taken the same position as Dury, wide on the right. 25 minutes of the second half have elapsed. Scotland still a goal to the good. Sidakov, good running. Good check out to Stoichkov. Still Stoichkov, took too long. And the ball finally deflected. And it's substitute who's done it again, Nikolai Todorov. 2 in Romania. And now he's got the equaliser in the home match with Scotland. 1-1 in the 70th minute of the match. Came off McKimmie, I think. And the referee has had words with the Bulgarian bench and seems to want to dismiss the coach. Ivan Butsov is requested to leave the field of play. All a little strange, but by no means the first time the Bulgarian footballers and their coaches have got a little worked up. McClare, McCoy makes a run. McClare just slows things down. Nevin, McAllister, McAnally, Fury on the Scottish bench as the ball's given away again, and McPherson really struggling to reach that. Scottish ball, and we're now playing the time that Mr. Frederick Calpe is allowing for injuries and stoppages. Bankov, Dotchev. 5 forward for Bulgaria. Doesn't include the ball carrier. Todorov. Takes it across the face of the defence. And McKimmie just to come away. And 3 against 3 here for a moment. Nevin gets it back. McHoist is over this side. And has Tom Boyd for support. Boyd. Didakov leads the charge. Very expertly broken up by Gary Gillespie. And it's the last attack that Scotland have to repel. The whistles go up around the ground, and Scotland have a priceless away point in this European Championship. They were under pressure for much of the game, but their organisation held, and the advantage given them by the early goal by Ali McCoist, only wiped out in the 70th minute by Tom.
Now those teams lined up. Luxembourg, who only went down 3-2 to the world champions West Germany a fortnight ago. Wales unchanged from the side that beat Belgium. 68th cap for Peter Nicholas, who equals Ivor Allchurch's record as the second most capped Welshman. In Luxembourg, we'll join Tony Gubber, and we're in the first half.
Langers to run along this touchline. He's pursued by Nicholas, who won't catch him, but he's on his own at the moment. Or is a break down the middle. Saiben. Oh, and he's pulled it back too far, has he? That was blocked by Bowden. And Wales clear their line. That was Malgier who came up from the back. Bit of a warning there for Wales. And play waved on. And, oh, there's a scuffle going on between Clayton Blackmore and Langers, which is totally unnecessary. And Langers ran across to remonstrate with Blackmore, who's been shown the red card, and that is a disastrous start for Wales and was totally unnecessary. But there's no doubt that Luxembourg were incensed by Clayton Blackmore's tattle there on Seben. He certainly went right through him. And a very sad Clayton Blackmore, who leaves the field here in Luxembourg, just over 10 minutes gone. Wales down to 10 men. And what looked, well, dare we say, like a comfortable evening for the Welsh. Hopes of a victory, hopes of a good performance, now much more difficult. Reduced to 10 men. Well, Rush was pushed. Well, this is the free kick in an interesting position. But in losing Clayton Blackmore, they've certainly lost one of the players who can strike a ball from this sort of distance, this sort of position. Barry Horn and Peter Nicholas together. A ragged wall. Oh, Rush! Oh, Rush got it! Great response from Wales to the sending off of Clayton Blackmore, but the time they allowed Ian Rush. He had one dig at it. He didn't seem to get the contact he wanted, was able to scramble up and get another one. Weiss, who got in the first tackle, then it hit him, and he got a good rebound, but a quick reaction by Ian Rush. His 18th international goal, and his second in consecutive matches, and a priceless one for Wales. Three is Bossy. Seben. Hellers. Oh, that's dropped over the top. It's Langers. He should have looked for Morakuti in the middle. Bit of a let-off, Leighton.
Yes, it was a very uncharacteristic error by Kevin, but initially I thought it was in the box, and but on looking at it on the replay, it was just outside the box, but Kevin did try to handle it in the end, and he's very fortunate not to get a yellow card for that, the way this referee's gone on so far.
Seben. Yes, oh, it's inside Barry Horn. Seben. Again, it was much too close to the keeper anyway. The two players that he could have looked for were on the edge of the penalty area. That gives Luxembourg another corner, and this a little bit of a sticky spell for Wales. Played short. Malgier. Oh, well struck. Southall didn't have to make a save. It was always rising above the bar. One of the two bank clerks in this Luxembourg side, Theo Malgier. Saunders. Faced by Petri. Gets in the cross, intended for Rush. Horn. Oh, good ball out. Saunders kept it in. Rush to look for, and also Mark Hughes, but didn't get in the cross, and Wales will have to defend now if Luxembourg break quickly. Langers from the halfway line. Sebane goes inside him. Malgier is up. And whistle goes. Free kick. Tackled by Kevin Ratcliffe. Terry Yorath on his feet by the touchline. Hellers and the captain Weiss doing the organising. And that's Morakuti in the wall, and Weiss, who looks as though he's going to try and hit it. Forced across the penalty area. Gidet. Weiss, oh, there's a chance. Put it over. Langer's number 11. He's had 2 chances. That's certainly the best that Luxembourg have had. He got a clear sight of Neville Southall. You've got to hit the target from there, and he puts it over, and that's a let-off. Now it is a free kick. Well, Luxembourg have got 6 in and around the Welsh penalty area, and that's as many players as they've had forward in this first half. Taken by Weiss. Petrie, the back man. Saunders, who put him under pressure. Weiss. Langers. Marked by Ratcliffe. Oh, and he's got inside the Welsh captain, and it's a great ball across the penalty area. Morakuti on the far post has missed, well, what must surely be the best chance of the half. But a lovely bit of football by Langers. Really showed his class there to beat Ratcliffe. He pulled it right across goal, and he missed the target. Weiss. Nicked away from him by Ratcliffe, who now continues his run forward. Supported by Bowden. Rush is wide on the left. Good play by the fullback. Rush. Oh, he was dragged down then by Weiss. And that's another yellow card for Weiss. The Luxembourg players are really aware of Rush. Continues right through, and that's a terrible tackle. Well, fortunately, Rush back on his feet, none the worse. Wales have taken the free kick. Looking for Young. Hughes. Rush is in. Rice-White happy to get it at the second attempt. Terry Yorath must be pleased with what he's seen since that flare-up that saw Clayton Blackmore sent off at the start of the match. Closer now to his 5th win as Welsh manager. Malgier. Weiss. Gidet. Put it on his right side. Neville Southall was the coolest man in the stadium. Great shot, and what a fabulous save. That's what Neville Southall's for. Sebane, who hit that, the best strike of the night, and that was bound for the back of the Welsh net. A fantastic save by Neville Southall.
Leighton James, the commentator there with Tony Gubber, and Ian Rush's goal remained the only goal of the match. This is how Group 5 looks. Wales on top, but an awkward trip to Belgium. Their next match in the competition, that's on March the 27th. Teams, Northern Ireland changes from the team that drew with Denmark. Kevin Wilson for Ian Dowie. Robbie Dennison comes in for Motherwell's Colin O'Neill in midfield. Austria surprisingly leaving out one of their best-known names, midfield man Andreas Herzog. European Championship Group 5 then, Austria and Northern Ireland. We join it in the first half. Mark Robson, the commentator.
That's Michael looking for Ogris. This is Vilfoot with a chance. Well, for the first time in the match, Northern Ireland allowed the Austrian attack a little bit of space, and Vilfoot had the opportunity to shoot. And there you can see it perfectly. He just wasn't closed down at all, but no problems for Paul Key. Rogan, good first touch from Rogan. Black. And now a chance for Ogris to run, and he's very quick. Jerry Taggart is the marker. And Taggart just did enough there. Well, Andy Ogris is very quick and very skillful. Cost 1.8 million. But Jerry Taggart did well there. May have caught the man, but the ball was certainly first. Artner. Taggart, here's Ogris. Well, a real chance there for the Austrians. It's Andy Ogris who holds his head. Well, it was Taggart's head, but he headed it the wrong way. And Ogris should have done better. He really should have hit the target at least. Podger, Linsmeyer, Vilfoot. Across the front of the area, but nobody was there. Well, an inch or two either way, and this could well have been a goal for the Austrians. As Polster came in. Podger's come up from the back, the big defender. Ogris. And this is Linsmeyer. Manfred Linsmeyer of Tyrol. Played one match in the World Cup as a substitute. Petschel for Pakult. Ogris. Linsmeyer plays it forward for Ogris. Well, Andy Ogris can't believe it. That's the second time in the match he's put the ball over the bar. But it's the first decent move that Austria have managed to conjure in the whole of this game. Linsmeyer played a very good first-time ball. And Ogris not only over, but wide. Podger, Ogris, turns Donachie, shaping for the shot. Not a bad effort from Andy Ogris, but Paul Key very solid behind it. Linsmeyer, and in comes Hortnagel, running at the Northern Ireland defence. Here's Peter Pakult for Austria. He saves it. Pakult again. Play on, says the referee, as the crowd screams for handball. Danny Wilson getting themselves in all sorts of trouble. Peschel. Well, at last, something for the crowd to shout about. He was well positioned for the second time in a matter of seconds. Well, Taggart did get his head to that. There was no doubt about it. Ogris the cross. Pakult still, and Key gets there. Always a dangerous ball, this, across the edge of the 6-yard area. It was certainly close to a goal.
And Northern Ireland came away from Vienna with a goalless draw. One other result in that Group 4. Denmark 0, Yugoslavia 2. 3 wins out of 3 for Yugoslavia, who now hold a rather commanding position at the top of that Group 4.
Had scored in its previous match, but the Turks promised to put that right when Unal burst into the area only to fire over. Poland's recent form has been nothing to shout home about either, but they contrived an opening from a free kick. Dovcek's ball over the Turkish defence, eventually opening the way for a shot by Furtok, well saved by Engin. Former Denmark manager Sepp Piontek is trying to instill a more professional approach, but Turkey were caught out at a free kick. Roman Kazetsky fired in the decisive shot, Engin made a hash of it, and Celtic's Dariusz Jakunovski followed up to claim the goal. Kazetsky, looking for his 10th international goal, took much of the credit. Indeed, the ball seemed destined to cross the line anyway before Jakanowski followed up to make short. Poland picked up their first points. Turkey still haven't scored in losing both their matches.
So this is how Group 7 looks after all four countries have played 2 matches each. Ireland top on goal difference after their 5 goals, of course, against Turkey. Equal points with England. The next date, incidentally, for England and the Republic.
Group 1's developing into a momentous struggle. Spain, the '84 finalists, had a rough trip to Prague, where Europe's leading goal scorer Danek had Czechoslovakia in front early on. He's netted 18 this season for FC Tyrol in Austria. Now Spain, who've already beaten Iceland in this group, were level on the half-hour. Roberto's shot deflecting off Kadlec, and Roberto's Valencia teammate Kike set up the next for the Spaniards. Carlos putting them ahead early in the second half. 69 minutes gone when the prolific Danek popped up again with the Czech equaliser just squeezing past Subizarreta in goal. And Spain would have settled for that, but lost to Moravcik's late winner. Hasek's cross, Skuravi now with Genoa in there with the header. Moravcik eventually delighting the 35,000 spectators, not least his manager, Milan Makala, who took over when Venglos went to Aston Villa. So 3-2 to the Czechs, most of whose players have sought their fortunes abroad. They're second in the table. France, who've played 1 game fewer, atop, the only nation in that group with maximum points. One result from Group 3, Cyprus 0, Norway 3. No one dominating here yet, certainly not Cyprus. Italy could have a problem. Yugoslavia, who won in Belfast a couple of months ago, took their travelling circus to Copenhagen. It was goalless until 30 minutes from time when Badzdarevic celebrated his recent return from a year's ban with this goal. The Danes, trying to rebuild in front of 40,000 fans, finally sunk by Robert Jani, who scored his first international goal in the 84th minute. 2-0 to Yugoslavia. Whatever happened to that magical Danish side of 5 years ago? Sad, isn't it? So Yugoslavia, unlucky to lose on penalties to Argentina in the World Cup, remember, looking very useful indeed. Northern Ireland did well to draw in Austria, but seemed to have little chance of catching the Yugoslavs. But then again, football is...
Here's McMahon picking up Pearce, who's gone well forward. Into Lineker! There was a chance there for England. The first real chance they've had in this game. Wheeler. Houghton. Up at the shove. The referee looked very hard about that shove on Andy Townsend. He looked at the linesman and was within a whisker of giving a penalty for that. McCarthy with the long free kick. Just flicked off the top of the crossbar. Here's Lineker. Now here's some space now. McMahon, who's got Dixon outside him. Now Lee Dixon. Platt's made a tremendous run through the middle, and Lineker, Platt has done it for England. A nasty bounce of the ball beat David Platt. Staunton plays it in again towards Tony Cascarino.
Graham Taylor's greatest fear is that England and Ireland may block each other's path to the finals, allowing Poland to sneak ahead of both of them. Poland sneaked past Turkey on Wednesday night with a first-half goal from Celtic's Jackie Jakanowski. Poland are England's last opponents in the group, which the Irish lead by virtue of their 5-goal hammering of the Turks last month. Era's trip to Wembley next March still looks the key game. In Scotland's group, the grand entrance of little San Marino into the European big time was a little embarrassing. Switzerland's Alan Suter made the most of their ineptitude as early as the 8th minute. It didn't get any better for the tiny Italian state. Less than 1,000 fans saw their championship debut, and half of those were Swiss. Number 11, Stéphane Chapuisat, soon gave them a second goal to cheer. The only professional in the San Marino lineup was substituted at half-time. He had an Italian Cup tie to play in the following day. His last act was to watch Adrian Knoop give Switzerland a 3-goal interval lead. The only remaining mystery was how it took another 40 minutes for the 4th goal to arrive. Substitute Frédéric Chassot passing standing and sitting defenders before rounding the goalkeeper.
Scotland's success over the Swiss last month is looking particularly valuable now. Bulgaria have already been beaten in Switzerland and are next at Hampden next March. Group 4 is Northern Ireland's group, but it belongs to Yugoslavia following their 2-0 win in Denmark. 2 late goals, the first of them a cracker from Mehmet Badzarevic. He missed the World Cup through suspension. He was banned for a year for spitting at a referee. Danish fans wish it had been 2 years. 6 minutes from time, Vujovic's cross ushered Robert Jarni forward for his first international goal. 6 out of 6 for the Yugoslavs, who entertain Northern Ireland next March in the next match. Billy Bingham's point in Vienna completed a miserable start for the Austrians, beaten by the Faroe Islanders, already remember. Wales lead Group 5 thanks to Ian Rush's goal in Luxembourg. Their next game is in Belgium in March. West Germany come to Wales in June. A great match in Group 1 this week where France are setting the pace, but where Czechoslovakia stepped up the pace by beating Spain. Vaclav Danek, European club football's leading scorer, led the way. But the Spaniards hit back with a deflected effort by Roberto before half-time. And then early in the second half, a free header for Carlos, this time from Kike's cross. 2-1 to Spain. With 20 minutes to go, Danek claimed his second, controlling at the second attempt and blasting away through Zubizarreta. 2-2. In the opposite goal, Ludo Miklosko of West Ham was preferred to Queen's Park Rangers' Jan Stejskal, and it was his late save that set up the Czechs for the big finish. That big finish was provided 13 minutes from time by Moravcik, courtesy of a typical knockdown from Skuravi. Kosian's shot against the post, a touch of luck, then Moravcik's finish. Dramatic stuff. The Czechs, who lost in France last month, had to win. The French have to beat Albania later today.
In qualifying Group 6, Holland made a bad start, losing 1-0 away to Portugal. They soon found their international feet against Greece back home in Rotterdam. Dennis Bergkamp headed Holland in front after 7 minutes. This goal enhanced the reputation he was building at Ajax of Amsterdam. Dutch fans had little to celebrate at international level until the late 1960s and early 70s. Then both Feyenoord and Ajax both won the World Club Championship and European Cups. They also developed a wonderful new style known as total football. Their stars then, Johan Cruyff, Johan Neeskens and Rudy Krol. Jan Wouters is a player of pace and strength whose understanding with Van Basten is almost telepathic. The pair had been teammates at Ajax before Van Basten moved to Italy. But successful old habits die hard, particularly when European Championship points are at stake.
After last month's 4-0 defeat by Switzerland, San Marino were hoping to salvage a little Group 2 pride in Bucharest. Romania had other ideas, though, and it took them just a minute to go ahead. The ball bobbling around in the box before Feyenoord's Jan Sabau popped up to fire into the corner. After 2 defeats, the home side were desperate for points and goals. They piled on the pressure and made it 2-0 after 18 minutes. 89 Golden Boot winner Doran Matut with a superb long-range effort. The third goal just before half-time owed everything to this brilliant run down the left, the cross eluding the San Marino keeper, and Radiceu on hand to apply the finishing touch. He won't score an easier one than that. Lots more goal action after the break. World Cup star Lakatouche at the centre of most of it. His brilliant free kick matched here with a volley from Bayer Leverkusen's Ionu Lupescu. 4-0 in the 57th minute. With the San Marino defence looking increasingly suspect, Romanian substitute Badia popped up with the 5th. A well-judged lob this time as the agony increased for the visitors' keeper. Lakatouche hadn't finished his night's work, though. Yet another pinpoint free kick, and this time it's Dan Petrescu who heads home to complete Romania's 6-0 victory. So 2 valuable points for them, but it's Scotland who still sit proudly on top of Group 2 and looking forward to that big home match against Bulgaria in March.
Starczającym dla miejscowych złodziei. Polakom zniknęły paszporty, pieniądze oraz odzież. Policja spisała protokół i ruszyła w pościg. Naszym zawodowcom pozostał dylemat. Wygrali w Grecji czy przegrali? Malta to maleńka kropka na mapie i Holandia jest przy niej całkiem dużym krajem. Czy wypada zatem tak sponiewierać mniejszego? Pomarańczowi okazali się wczoraj bez skrupułów. W eliminacjach Mistrzostw Europy strzelili w La Valetcie 8 bramek, nie tracąc żadnej. Wyjątkowo udane zbiory miał napastnik AC Milan Marco van Basten. Trafił 5 razy. Dennis Bergkamp dorzucił 2 gole, Aaron Winters 1. Malta, choć należy do piłkarskich maluchów, takiego lania jeszcze u siebie nie dostała. Po tym spotkaniu w grupie 6 Holendrzy mają o 1 punkt i 9 bramek więcej niż druga Portugalia. Jeszcze gorzej poszło w eliminacjach Mistrzostw Europy Albanii. Poza 9 golami w meczu z Hiszpanią, Albańczycy stracili także 2 piłkarzy z drużyny olimpijskiej. Poprosili oni w Sewilli o azyl.
Dat zijn er 5. En dan hier de Boer. En Michael van Basten vraagt zich nog af hoe die...
Ponad 20 000 kibiców, otoczonych mało dyskretną opieką, obserwowało wczoraj w Stuttgarcie historyczne wydarzenie. Szwajcarzy byli co prawda ładnym, ale tylko tłem. Zostali potraktowani przez rywali w białych rękawiczkach, w przenośni i dosłownie. Już w 28 sekundzie Rudi Feller wznowił pisanie ogólnoniemieckiej kroniki futbolu. Potem swoje 3 grosze dorzucili Karl-Heinz Riedle, Andreas Thom i Lothar Matthäus. Miejsca w historii zapewnili sobie Matthias Zamer z VfB Stuttgart, pierwszy człowiek ze wschodu, który wybiegł w niemieckiej 11, oraz Andreas Thom, pierwszy stamtąd, który zdobył gola. 4-0 z Helwetami było mocnym akcentem na koniec roku, najlepszego w dziejach niemieckiego piłkarstwa.
Ma na koncie ponad 900 meczów ligowych. Nam kojarzyć się będzie zawsze z meczem na Wembley przed 17 laty i golem Domarskiego. Później już żaden inny Polak nie zdołał go pokonać. We wtorek uroczystym meczem żegnano Shiltona w Londynie. Jubilat przypomniał, że przestaje grać tylko w reprezentacji. Z klubem nie zamierza się rozstawać. We wrześniu Peter Shilton rozpoczął 42 rok życia. Związku Piłki Nożnej, którzy utrzymywali, że reprezentacja Albanii jest przeciwnikiem bardzo wymagającym i gotowym sprawić kłopoty najlepszym. Sposób, w jaki z Albańczykami rozprawili się Hiszpanie, nie pozostawia żadnych złudzeń co do tego, kto jest rzeczywiście dobry, a kto nie. Oglądaliśmy 5 goli Van Bastena. Teraz możemy zobaczyć, jak Emilio Butragueño, przypominając sobie meksykański mundial i mecz z Danią, 4-krotnie pokonał albańskiego bramkarza. Dzięki temu pobił strzelecki rekord Alfredo Di Stefano, który dla Hiszpanii zdobył 23 gole. Butragueño ma już ich 26 w 57 reprezentacyjnych występach. Poza nim gole dla ekipy Luisa Suareza strzelili Carlos Muñoz 2, Guillermo Amor, Fernando Hierro i José Baquero. W tabeli grupy pierwszej Mistrzostw Europy prowadzi jednak Francja, mająca nad Hiszpanami 2 punkty przewagi. Trzecia jest silna drużyna czechosłowacka.
In December 1990, Holland travelled to Malta. They expected a tight and scrappy match. Instead, they witnessed a remarkable display of football from Van Basten. 9 minutes gone, 1-0 to Holland, 1 goal to Van Basten. 20 minutes in, this is Holland's second goal coming up. Also a second for Van Basten. Midway through the first half now, and an even more spectacular strike, as well as Van Basten's hat-trick. 3-0 to Holland at half-time. Van Basten modestly decided to share his good fortune in the second half. Gullit broke down the right, and this time it was Aaron Winter who headed home. Now another name on the score sheet. Van Basten proves he can make goals as well as score them. His successor at Ajax, Bergkamp, finishes in style. The shadows lengthened across the pitch. There was no rest in sight for Malta. Van Basten stretches out a leg for his 4th goal of the match. Malta's defenders had now lost contact with the game, and with the men they were supposed to be marking. Even goalkeeper Kluit was lured out of position by Van Basten, so Bergkamp could stretch Holland's lead to 7-0. Key men such as Van Basten and Gullit had learned in Italy how to blend skill and style with sheer ruthlessness. There was no letter for Malta. When Malta conceded a penalty, Van Basten wanted to take it. the first time Van Basten had scored 5 goals in an international match. Holland won 8-0 to go top of the group. They would not be dislodged.
The much-fated Cameroons came to Wembley next, 11 years to the day since Brian Robson made his debut. Ian Wright was winning his first cap, and can you believe it, they gave us another penalty.
Dixon. Barnes. The roll is quite free. Stephen. Wright. Lineker. Oh, what about the challenge? The referee points to the spot. He's absolutely right. The goalkeeper played Lineker, not the ball. And the result is some sort of hat-trick. Little smile from Gary Lineker. England have the lead in the 21st minute. Good pass by Trevor Stephen. Beautiful climb by Wright. Lineker took on the goalkeeper and the defender. The goalkeeper played him. And this corner kick being watched by the England goalkeeper standing in the centre circle. And it got a back flick. And Lineker and Wright went together, and Lineker is the scorer. It's his second. The goal in the 62nd minute. He had so many men over. Got a back flick from Wright, and it was the right foot of Lineker.
Eurosport berichtet weiter über die EM-Qualifikationsspiele mit der Begegnung zwischen Belgien und Luxemburg. Die Gruppe 5 besteht aus äußerst kompetenten Teams, allen voran Wales. Belgien muss diesmal gewinnen, um weiterhin am Ball zu bleiben. Luxemburg hat sich bislang wacker gegen Wales und Schweden geschlagen und könnte für Überraschungen sorgen. Belgien gegen Luxemburg, Donnerstagabend um 10:30 bei Eurosport. In Verbindung mit Minolta, JVC und Nike.
In the second half, the French begin to assert their authority. The prolific Marseille striker Papin scores in spectacular style. Sweeper Blanc heads the third. France now have maximum points from 4 games and under manager Michel Platini are unbeaten in 23 months.
France won all 8 of their matches in qualifying Group 1, a unique achievement. They were matched with Spain, Czechoslovakia, Iceland and Albania, so the task was anything but simple. France ran up single-goal victories over Albania, Czechoslovakia and Iceland before their first duel with Spain in Paris. Platini looked worried as Spain attacked from the start. It was here in the Parc des Princes that Spain had lost to France in the final of the '84 European Championships. They wanted revenge. When José Baquero scored after 11 minutes, it appeared manager Luis Suarez might see his dream come true. France might once have been destroyed by such a start, but their team spirit is now very different. It took a mere 4 minutes for the host to equalise after a free kick for a foul on Vahirua. Durand picked out the unmarked Franck Sauzet, and goalkeeper Zubizarreta was well beaten. France were Europe's most entertaining national team in the 80s. They reached the World Cup semi-finals in '82 and '86, as well as winning the European title in between. Now that confidence appeared to be flooding back as they laid siege to Spain's goal. France's creative play against Spain began at the back with goalkeeper Bruno Martini and was carried forward by fullback Manuel Amoros, a World Cup veteran. Jean-Pierre Papin provided a typically spectacular finish. The longer the game went on, the more goals France threatened. No wonder Spanish manager Suarez was looking worried. He'd been criticised after Spain's World Cup exit in Italy in 1990. He knew this defeat would spell the sack. 13 minutes remained when France wrapped up the points and a 3-1 victory. Sweeper Laurent Blanc headed home a decisive goal. Platini said afterwards, on pure skill, Spain had us beaten, but we had the will to win.
It's been make do and mend for Andy Roxburgh in the last few days. No fewer than 8 of his original squad have dropped out. The latest of them, Mo Johnston, with a stiff neck only today. This line-up suggests 3 big men to hold the line at the back, with the full-backs pushing up. Strachan, McClare and McStay in midfield, and up front a partnership of McCoist and Dury. For Ivan Vutsov, the Bulgarian coach, the task in the last couple of days has been to remind his men of how they should play together. Only 3 of the starting lineup come from Bulgarian clubs. If long years of tradition are any guide, their tactics will be ultra-defensive. But the tall Yugoslav Penev, who wears 9, looks a good attacking player. And Nasko Sirikov, the number 10, comes with a record of 12 goals in 34 internationals. Scotland kick off playing from right to left, knowing that if they can win this one, the next game is away to San Marino, and that begins then to look like a ticket to Sweden and a first ever appearance in the European Championship finals. But first, serious business here against the Bulgarians, who are in the white tops and green shorts. First and long. Dury will take the throw. Strachan. A very busy build-up to this game, Gordon Strachan. 4 games in a week for Leeds United. This is Kyriakov with the yellowy red hair. Most unusual in a Bulgarian. 4 in the break now. And the 5th coming down this touchline. Bearing 2 is Dochev. Nice neat play here. And over the top by Yordanov when he really should have done better. But that's a warning to Scotland. The exchange of passes with Dochev coming down the right flank and then into Yordanov under pressure, put the shot over. It was dangerous. Walpus. Finale had to track back. Picked up instead by McStay. Strachan. Away by Ivanov. Scotland had been rehearsing these set-piece long throws. They haven't so far produced anything from them. Should be the defenders. A bit of work by Ivanov with the Koist scenting half a chance there. Stays ball through. Ivanov very quick and agile. Scotland felt that the Bulgarians were the kind of side who, under pressure, might give away free kicks around the edge of the penalty area. They've worked a lot on them in training. What have they to offer here? Strachan, headed away by Kyriakov, and again by McInally. 9 men back for Bulgaria, and Mikhailov forced to turn it over. First corner of the game goes to Scotland. That was nothing more than high and hopeful. I think it would probably have dropped on the back of the bar, but Mikhailov is not taking chances.
Good header by Dury. Nobody able to take advantage of it. Pass back was cut off. Jordan. Jeff's header. This is Penef. Oh, it's nice play. Balakov. Jordanov. 4 in the middle for the cross. It was Jordanov's header. And so far, the really meaningful attacks have largely come from Bulgaria. Scotland have had more possession. Bulgaria have looked more dangerous. I think Gorham had that covered. It wasn't a bad effort. Coist was free in the centre of the goal. Clare just tried the hook shot as the ball came past him from Strachan. Malpas. Into McPherson's head. It's the right back up there in the inside left position. Here's Dury going through. There's appeal for handball, which is given, but it's given outside, not inside the area, as Scotland were claiming. No doubt it was handball. Ivanov was the guilty party. It was outside the area. The referee is now reaching for a yellow card, and he shows it to Balakov for not retreating 10 yards. It's good to see a referee prepared to do that. It'll be Dury hard, low, off target. Another free kick around the area goes to West. None of them so far has tested Ricardo. This one was about a yard wide of his left hand upright, 2 yards perhaps. He had it covered. And Scotland in there through McClare, and somehow or other Mikhailov got a hand to it and just flacked it away. Closest we've been to a goal. Now Strachan. Dury! Good effort. Angry that he wasn't on target, but I think that is a case where he might be forgiven. Strachan set him up well, and he had no time to make the shot. He had to go for it, and he only missed by about 18 inches. White's looked down on Hampden, scene of so many historic games. Good jump by Kostadinov. Here he is in on the rebound. Away by McLeish, collected by Sirikov. Brilliant turn, and very unlucky that he didn't get away with it. I think that the referee was right, even though Dury shows him the ball. This is a brilliant turn. Yes, and I think that Dury did just catch him. Was trying to get in behind the two front men. Ivanov coming in behind Sirikov and Penef, and then Yankov shot Scarcely worth a replay. Coist, cross blocked. Dury, lovely jink. And again. Ball still in play back from McPherson. And Leclerc's attempt was going wide. He was under pressure, falling. Couldn't direct it on target. Header back in from McPherson. Kyriakov. Stay. Kostadinov. Penev. Clever idea. Just look to use the weight of the ball to turn it in a loop towards the far post. Overdid it a fraction. It's a good idea. Execution didn't quite match the thinking. It's important for Scotland to keep the crowd behind them, and although McInally didn't have a lot of options there, didn't please the crowd, and nor did giving the ball away like that. Here's Kostadinov. Syurikov. Hit Penev. Ball had been given away by Scotland. Penev just couldn't get out of the way of the shot in time. Minutes left. Scotland thinking about bringing John Collins from Celtic into the action. And a shot from McCoist, well saved by Mikhailov. Gaps beginning to open, perhaps as the legs begin to tire. Yankov. Jordan. Kyriakov. Another chance to have a look at that shot, which Mikhailov covered so well. Now Scotland, I think, want to make a double substitution. They're going to take off Strachan and Dury, who've done so much hard work down the touchlines, and bring on Collins and Robertson. Well, they've earned their breather, the two wide men. Dury, if anything, I would say, has been just about Scotland's best player. He's worked, given everything, and now fresh legs to see if they can snatch something for Scotland in the last few minutes of the game. McPherson. Players cross, beautiful goal. The substitution has paid off within 60 seconds. Beautiful header
from John Collins from the Clare's cross. That's a magnificent goal. Scotland 1, Bulgaria 0, and Andy Roxburgh's substitution pays off so quickly. Happy Hampden tonight. After a long siege of the Bulgarian goal, it seemed likely to go unrewarded. Mikhailov had to make only 3 or 4 really serious saves, was then left powerless. Mr. Fredriksson has just checked his watch. No offside! And the substitute is through and brought down, but the ball has been put in the net, and the referee has not given the penalty. He has played the advantage and allowed the equaliser to stand. So Scotland have had the victory snatched away from them at the very last. The ball put in the net by Kostadinov after Tanev had gone down, fouled by Goran. 5 seconds of the game remaining. Down goes the substitute, in goes Kostadinov. Good decision by Mr. Fredriksson, and so it is 1 apiece here at Hampden as it was in Sofia, and the substitutions having dramatic effect on both sides. Collins scoring for Scotland with virtually his first touch. Tanev being brought down virtually the first time he was involved in the action. The ball breaking loose for Kostadinov to score. All the drama contained in the last 5 or 6 minutes of this game at Hampden. Another look at the watch for the referee. And that's the final whistle of the night. And for the second time in these European Championship qualifying games, Scotland and Bulgaria have shared the points, 1 goal apiece.
And Scotland remain unbeaten in that group too, but disappointed not to take both points. Big offside doubts about that Bulgarian equaliser. Still looks good for the Scots though. Next they face San Marino, who also played tonight. San Marino won Romania 3. San Marino achieving their pre-match ambition of scoring a goal, and the Scots will hope they've got that out of their system. And group favourites Germany. The Welsh relieved to have Mark Hughes fit after his recent hamstring doubts. Great World Cup talent in that Belgian lineup, notably Enzo Schifo at number 10. Belgium against Wales then. We're in the first half. The commentators are Leighton James and Graham Lloyd.
Hazelwood to Rush. Clijsters. Vandenberg, De Vries, and now Schifo. Schifo again with a little bit of room. Van der Elst, nice 1-2, chance for Van der Elst, cleared by Ratcliffe, and straight into Savills on. Gerets trying to set Vandenberg free. This is Bodin. And there goes Saunders. Just couldn't get on the end of it. Dean Saunders not far away there.
I think if Wales can play the ball down the sides of the Belgians and pull the sweeper out the middle, I think it could cause them a lot of problems, because the sweeper looks a very, very good player and very comfortable standing in the middle of the field. But I don't think he's quite so comfortable when he's pulled out to the wide and being exposed a little bit.
It's a beautiful evening here in Brussels. Just a slight wind, the pitch in perfect condition. And obviously Belgium looking for this win, which will keep alive their hopes of qualifying for Sweden. Group 5. is the group we're in. This is Schifo. Past Horn. Shot by Schifo, perhaps. Good turn by Wilmot. I'd say Fraser, Neville Southall. Mark Wilmot. First time shot, but straight at Neville Southall. Good positioning by the goalkeeper. Saunders and Grun. This time Grun winning out Nicholas and Hazelwood. Grun keeping the ball in well. Gerets. Wilmots. Through to De Greta. Vandenberg. Oh! Best move of the match. Erwin Vandenberg. Hit it on the volley. Just over the top. Young. Clearing for Wales. This is Versabel. Ratcliffe. Versabel and Southall again in the right place at precisely the right time as the shots come in.
That's a great strike. It's a simple save for Neville, but it's been caused yet again by the runner coming from the midfield and not being picked up.
Leo Clijsters. Young and Wilmots, and Young penalised for holding. And this could be dangerous. And the crowd starting to get behind the Belgian side. Good header against the bar. Lucky let off there for Wales. The header was by Wilmots. And that was a let-off. There's the header. Southall helpless against the bar and away. Odin down the line to Hughes. Hughes up against Gerets. Collected by Horn, but taken away by De Grazer. Shot by De Grazer. And Wilmot and Young again in the way for Wales.
I think you'll find this is a very, very important block by Eric Young. Yes, it is, and the shot was on target, and that would have been a disastrous time for Wales to concede a goal.
Good header by Ratcliffe and Schifo. Versabel. Wales, important that they keep their shape despite all the pressure. A support pass, and that's a goal! Hazelwood. It leads 1-0 for Belgium. So important for them to keep their shape, and Hazelwood, he didn't hit it strongly enough, and Neville Southall didn't stand a chance.
And it's just simply bad defended. It's a dreadful back pass, and Neville Southall's left short, and I think that was very bad blow for Wales, that.
Rodden clearing, but only as far as Dean Saunders. Bruno Versabel up against him. Bodin. Horn trying to make a run. Good run by Bodin to the far post. There's Rush. Header by Rush. Chance, Saunders, goal! What a tremendous goal there! Dean Saunders. Goal number 10. Belgium 1, Wales 1.
That's a great goal. Barry Horn does ever so well, makes a great run, knocks a great cross to the back post. I thought this was a bit of an unfortunate header by the Englishman. He's just come to Dean Saunders, and he does what he does best in the country, and that sticks the ball in the back of the net. Magnificent finish.
There's the cross by Bodin, the header by Rush at the far post. It took a bit of a deflection, but watch this for finishing. Fantastic, 1-1 the score. And Dean Saunders, well, you can see how happy he is. So up we go. And from looking as if they couldn't score at all, Wales, well, they've come back superbly through a superb piece of individual football. That strike by Saunders, but here's Schifo, headed clear and cleared by Barry Horn. Wales have got to be careful they don't get caught in the next couple of minutes. Obviously on a high, having got back in. Hazelwood, he'll be pleased that Saunders has equalised. Hazelwood again. Wilmots and Bodin. Beautiful turn by Saunders. He's left run for dead. Inside is Ratcliffe and taken down by Clijsters, and that's going to be a booking. Here it is again. He was past Clijsters. That was late. Here's Bodin aiming for Young. Good header by Young. Just past the post. Well, that was mighty close there.
Yeah, we had a great view of that there, and that was a great header by Eric Young. 6 inches wide, and I don't think the goalkeeper would have got it.
And the sizable Welsh contingent beginning to make themselves heard here at the Van den Stock Stadium in Brussels. But this is De Grey's, the man who scored the goal. De Grey's, Schifo. Lovely cross by Schifo. Just past the post again. Well, what can you say about this man?
That's the first time in the game when he's really sparkled, and it was a magnificent piece of skill. And I'm not so sure he didn't try and score there, but either way, he'll be disappointed that a colleague wasn't coming in on the far post, because he would have had a simple header. Marvellous piece of skill.
Good header by Wilmots, but chance here for Van den Berg. And to get it, this is dangerous. De Gries, good header, good challenge by Phillips. And Schifo. Wide again, not as close as last time. They're resorting to the long heave upfield, the Belgians, as time is running out. The football isn't quite as pretty. They desperately need a goal. This looks dangerous. Percival, a free kick, it's likely. The referee points just outside the box. Mark Hazelwood brought him down. Bruno Bissaro.
That was outside the box clearly, but it was a brilliant piece of football. Brilliant piece of football by the Belgians.
The Welsh team getting their wall together. Neville Southall seems happy. The whole Welsh team, every outfield player back. Schifo into the wall. Schifo again into the wall. And that looked a very, very high foot. And this game is threatening to boil over unless the referee can gain control. There's a booking. Barry Horn is the man. His foot was high. The wall had done its job twice. Schifo's shot was blocked. A testing time this late into Wales. Neville Southall again busily organising the wall. Out there, again into the wall. Percival and Phillips unable to lead Wales away, but at least they've relieved the pressure for a moment. Wilmots looking for Schifo, headed clear by Young. And again, Hughes, that's a lovely little chip, and away goes Rush. Somebody's got to come to him. There's Saunders coming. This is a good break by Wales. There goes Saunders. Neat play. He's past Albert. Decides to enlist the support of Phillips. And Cloisters tidying up. It's a good cross by De Grazer, and a spectacular effort by Wilmots. For Sarvel, headed clear by Ratcliffe. Back with Van der Elst. For Sarvel. Fine challenge by Horn and Phillips. And there is Rush. Now will Rush go it alone? He's against Cloisters. Good challenge by Cloisters. And Hughes, fine break by Cloisters. To Versarvel. The referee getting in the way. Play on. Wales can't seem to get out of the pressure. And the referee has produced another yellow card. It seems that he is booking two players. Again is threatening to turn nasty. The referee straight away pulled out his cards. Headed clear. Schifo and Horn. And Horn, fine challenge there. Crucial one. Gerets.
Oh.
Chance.
Oh, what a great strike. What a great strike that was.
Shot.
That was so close. I mean, we can't see from here, but it looks as if it was going to just rip the net off.
Very fine performance indeed by the Welsh. It finished 1-1. They're still 2 points clear at the top of Group 5. But next it's the first of the key game against the world champions Germany. The Welsh at home to Germany on June the 5th.
A weakened Northern Ireland squad with a number of their more experienced defenders missing. Hadji Begic looks for Beanic. It's there. 1-0. Hadji Begic, the sweeper, moving forward probably for the first time in the match, and it really was a quite exquisite ball. Colin Hill in the end maybe quite unlucky not to get to it, but it's in. That's another good corner, another good cross, and it's a goal. Well, Northern Ireland have equalised, and it's Colin Hill who's done it. Well, amazing. 1 each. Well, Robbie Dennison floated a lovely free kick in here. It caught everybody by surprise, and Colin Hill, what a beautiful header. Savicevic. Turning Kevin Wilson. Savicevic for Darko Panchev. Panchev. 2-1. Savicevic has had a very, very good game for Yugoslavia. He's absolutely everywhere and playing some very incisive balls. That was another one of those. Colin Hill was the man who fell, and Panchev was the man who finished. Josic. Now Yarni, the fullback. Looking for Beanic. Panchev. 3-1 to Yugoslavia. He rose well, and Key did extremely well to get his hand to it, but it was easy for Panchev. And perhaps the match now as a contest is over, with Yugoslavia 2 goals clear, and they might make it more here. Donaghy, oh, another chance, surely a goal. Yes, it is. Panchev gets the hat-trick. And Substitutions, as so often, the orchestrator in the Northern Ireland penalty area. Panchev scores his second hat-trick in the European Championship qualifying.
4-1 to Yugoslavia. Northern Ireland still without a win in Group 4. They should break that duck with their next game at home to the Faroe Islands, but all hope of qualifying is gone.
Header out by Staunton, only as far as Dixon to shoot. Oh, it's got in! Deflection! Staunton, I think. Dixon's had the shot. And Bonner had no chance. Steve Staunton deflected it. And Lee Dixon's shot puts England into the lead via the deflection. Houghton. McGrath swings it in towards Niall Quinn, unmarked! A goal for Ireland! And big Niall Quinn couldn't really miss. The marking was shocking. McGrath. Oh, and Ray Houghton in a good position. And Ireland players all over the pitch, and Jack Charlton on the bench, hold their heads in disbelief.
It's good news, John Barnes' future more assured, but it's not so clear-cut for England. The third consecutive 1-1 draw between the sides. Republic of Ireland stay on top of Group 7 on goal difference. The key now, the respective performances against Turkey and Poland, but it's going to be very, very tight, and this really has been a very fine performance tonight by the Irish.
England's bid to end their Republic of Ireland bogey got off to a promising start after 10 minutes, but it took a stroke of luck.
Header out by Staunton, only as far as Dixon to shoot. Oh, it's got in! Deflection!
In the early stages, England were having more than their fair share of luck. First, McGrath's shot was cleared off the line by Peter Beardsley, then Kevin Moran hit the rebound against the post. But with mounting Irish pressure and an increasingly shaky-looking England defence, an equaliser was always on the cards.
McGrath swings it in towards Niall Quinn, unmarked! A goal for Ireland! And big Niall Quinn couldn't really miss. The marking was shocking.
In a dull second half, it was Ireland who nearly grabbed a winner late in the game, but Ray Houghton let England off the hook. Ireland, though, remained top of the group on a vastly superior goal difference. At Hampden, it looked as if Andy Roxburgh's 40th game in charge would end in the same result as his first, a goalless draw. But 7 minutes from the end, substitute John Collins was on the end of a Brian McClare cross, and it looked as if the Scots were on the road to victory. But with less than a minute to go, the Bulgarians secured a crucial point.
No offside! And the substitute is through and brought down, but the ball has been put in the net.
Scotland still lead the group, though, by 2 points. In Brussels, Wales, looking for a group double over Belgium, went behind to a Mark de Vries goal just after half-time. But on the hour, Dean Saunders showed just why he's been valued at £2 million this week. That equaliser keeps Wales at the top of the group. In Belgrade, Northern Ireland, up against the group leaders Yugoslavia, went behind on 35 minutes, Dragica Binic scoring the goal. But by half-time, they'd levelled matters through Colin Hill. After half-time, it was a different story. Darko Panchev scored a hat-trick in just 14 minutes, and now Northern Ireland's chances of reaching the finals in Sweden next year look bleak.
The crowd with his foraging down the flanks. Bergkamp is unlucky with the shot. Again, right back Blind feeds Gullit. The dreadlocked Dutchman crosses well, and once more Bergkamp is only just foiled. But in the second half, Holland clinch victory and move ahead of Portugal in the group standings when Gullit adds the second.
Jeszcze mamy piłkę Krzysztof Warzycha, dobre przejście i faulowany fatalnie, potrącony Warzycha. Ale rzut wolny dla nas, odległość od bramki 20 metrów, doskonała okazja do celnego, soczystego, mierzonego strzału. Kto będzie wykonawcą tego rzutu wolnego? Jest Wdowczyk ustawiony z tyłu. Tarasiewicz, gol! No proszę Państwa, wreszcie to, na co wszyscy czekaliśmy. potęgą w futbolu nie jesteśmy, zresztą to nie jest dla nas nowość, ale uwaga, Warzycha wpada w pole karne, Warzycha dośrodkowanie, bramkarz zdąży, nie zdążył, piłka zginęła gdzieś, gol! Gol, proszę Państwa! Ostatnie minuty tego meczu. Kosecki, gol! Jest bramka! Ale fatalny błąd, proszę Państwa, Bilenta.